All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's show. I feel like I'm on TV sometimes. All right, so if you are here, give me a hashtag live. And if you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Tonight, I'm really excited to really get into this topic about expectations. In the Reiki Vault membership last night, I did a energy healing around acceptance, and acceptance comes along with expectations. So I just want to make sure everybody's here. I know I'm starting a few minutes early. There we go. I see some people popping on. So tonight I'm going to teach you about 5 areas of your life that expectations might be playing a role and might be creating some hardship, some trouble, some resentment and anger, all these different emotions. And then I'm also going to share with you 3 different ways that you can start to let go of your expectations. So you want to stick to the end to make sure that you get those 3 ways. But if you are here right now, give me some comments, give me some love, give me some thumbs up if you're on my Facebook group, give me some, or no, thumbs up if you're on YouTube, give me some hearts if you're on Facebook, and just let me know in the comments that you're here and that you can see me and hear me, because literally till 1 minute ago, I was blurry, and now I feel like I'm in focus. So let me know in the comments, can you see me clearly, okay? Because this energy that's happening right now is just so crazy, especially with technology. So if you guys are having trouble with your machines, your computers, anything, just accept it and let it be for right now, okay? All right, so Nancy's here, Shelly's here, Tracy, Maria. Okay, you can see me and hear me, so we are good to go. Hello, Hope. All right, so you guys excited for this topic tonight about expectations and how they are affecting your life, really? Stacy, I'm in good vision and audio. Awesome. Donna, hello. All right, they're all coming in now. All right, you guys can see me. If you're in my Facebook group, and if you are not in my Facebook group, you want to get over there. It's really inspiring, supportive community. But if you are in my Facebook group, I cannot see your name. So just, write your name after your comment so I know who is talking to me. All right, Shelly's here. So awesome. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into this right now, okay? So I wanted to show you, this is what my notes look like when I do trainings for you guys, okay? So I have the worst handwriting. My 10-year-old daughter has much better handwriting than I do, but I've accepted that. That's okay. All right, so basically, Hope says, yes, bring it. Awesome. Hello, Christy. Okay. So an expectation is a belief that something will happen. Okay. That's basically what it is. Now, I know a lot, I teach manifestation, and I know there's a affirmation out there that's expect success. All right. Those kind of expectations is not kind of what I'm talking about tonight. It kind of is and it kind of isn't. But I want you to kind of forget that for a minute, and I want you to dial into what I'm speaking about tonight, okay? These expectations that I'm about to go through in these 5 different areas of your life can be hindering you from getting what you actually want. Okay, this could be in your relationships. We're going to go through this and kind of how they play out. And I love being on here live with you guys. So if you could participate with me, and any other expectations, I feel like this will be kind of fun. Any other expectations, because I only wrote down 2 for each, but any other expectations in the different areas, just jot them down in the comments so that everyone can see how this can also play out. All right, because I've got a lot to get through and I can't go through all of the examples. All right, so basically we're going to go through the 5 different areas. Then I'm going to kind of give you what happens when we have these expectations and they're not met. And then I'm going to give you the 3 ways to start to let go of these expectations so that you can, start to get the things you want in your life. Okay. Awesome. Claudia, hello. Shelly, you're welcome. Okay. So the first area that we're going to talk about obviously is relationships. Now, when I talk about relationships, this can be romantic relationships, but it can also be friendships. It could be family relationships. It could be work relationships. So any type of interaction you have with somebody else is going to be all piled up in this one area of relationships. Okay. So these expectations can look like in relationships is that you expect someone to treat you a certain way. And a lot of these are going to sound contradictive, because it's well, duh, don't we want somebody to treat us a certain way? But this is basically, and of course we want to have our boundaries, we want to have our standards, but we also can't dictate and can't specifically state that they should be doing this, okay? Because we are not in control of anybody else, all right? And I always say you have to accept people for who they are, and then you get to choose who you want in your life with who they are, okay? So we expect someone to treat us a certain way. We also expect someone to be like us, okay? And I'm going to share some stories with you here. So with that one, in my marriage, I expected, my ex-husband to be a go-getter and to work overtime if he needed to, and to, be up and about and doing things around the house, because that is what I was like, okay? He was not like that at all. And again, that is who he is. Therefore, not a good match, okay? So we expect someone else to be like us. Now, this is a big one, especially if you're spiritually awakening and you're healing yourself here, is that you expect someone to make changes the way that you're making changes, or you just expect them to make changes. So for instance, if you are spiritually awakening and you're realizing this whole world outside of yourself, or you are healing and you're feeling so much better, you expect that relationship, the friendship, the romantic partner, your family, to be like so into what you're into and totally jump on board. Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you, because I know for sure when I was going through all of this, it's like I just wanted to share it with everybody. And this is when we start to like preach to people and expect them to jump on board with it, because like how could they not? And then this could really isolate us in relationships, especially with friends and even with your relationship, your romantic relationships. But this can really isolate you because they don't want anything to do with it. And sometimes they think you're crazy because you don't even like, what are you talking about, right? So we expect people to kind of follow us or make the changes that we're making. Or we expect them because we want them to act a different way or be a different way. We expect them to change for us. Okay, and we cannot make anybody else change. So got to get that straight right away. So those are my examples for relationships. Let me know if you have any others in the comments. The next one that we're going to go to is manifestation. So, I'm a spiritual teacher and, a Reiki healer. So therefore, when I teach my manifest course, we have these expectations of manifestation. Now, a couple of them that happen that I run across with my clients is that there's a time frame that we expect our manifestation. And in that time frame, if it does not happen, then our expectations, I'll get to this in a little while, so I don't want to ruin the surprise. But we expect something to happen in a certain time frame, and I'll get to it in a little while what happens when we do that. And then we also expect it the way we want it. So if we are manifesting love, we expect it to come in this tall, dark, handsome, made of money, really kind, really whatever person, right? Whatever that is for you. Yet it might come in a completely different package. Yet we expect it to come in a certain way. So therefore, when it comes, we might miss it because we're not expecting it in that certain way. So that is one expectation of basically manifestation. Okay. So you're expecting it in a certain time frame and you're expecting it to come in a certain way. So let me know if that resonates with you guys. Give me some comments, guys, because I'm telling you, technology has been crazy. Just want to make sure I'm still here and you are still seeing me. Okay. So the next one, I teach my course 21 Days to Opening Our Psychic Abilities. And the next one I'm going to talk about here is our connection to our divine. So connection to our angels, connection to our spirit guides, connection to our loved ones on the other side, connection to God, whoever that is for you, but connection to the other side. So we expect it, right? And this is kind of like what expectations that I have, worked with people on, which is that we expect it to come in a certain way. I go over the different clairs in the course about, you can see it, you can hear it, you can know it, you can feel it. Yet we might expect it to be visual. We might be expecting to see something. We might be expecting to hear something. Yet that might not be the way that you actually receive it. The other thing is spirit guides, of course, like how many of you want to know your spirit guide's name? You might expect that your spirit guide should be talking to you, right? Or you should be able to connect to them. You've been on the spiritual journey for how long? Like you should be able to connect to them. You expect it. and it doesn't happen, right? So these expectations like really set us up for failure. So that is about like connecting to that divine energy. Now, the other thing I'll talk about here is our fourth thing is our self. When we have thanks, Shelly. The comments are coming in real slow. We have expectations for ourselves, and this could be like that you expect your daily habits of working out and exercising. The other thing I put down here was like New Year's resolution, since that time frame is coming up. And we expect that on January 1st, we're going to change our behaviors and it's going to go forward and everything is going to be great. I mean, how many of you have self-sabotaged yourself in your New Year's resolutions? I don't like New Year's resolutions. I don't like starting on a certain date just because everybody else tells you to do that. But these are self expectations that we have, and these can set us up for failure. And then the fifth one that I want to talk about is healing. So, you know, I'm a healer, so I help everyone heal, especially from codependency and toxic relationships. But one of the things is like you expect after years of therapy to feel better, right? You expect to feel better. Now, you might know better, you might understand better, but maybe you don't feel better. And this is why we talk about energy healing. But you might expect to feel a certain way after a certain amount of time. Now, the other thing you can expect is when we do energy healing, this is very popular as well. Like somebody might get like great grand visions through energy healing. Some people might feel something through energy healing, but then some people might feel nothing. And that expectation of, I had a client one time where I did an energy healing for the first time, and his like experience was totally amazing. So of course there's an expectation for that for the next time. But the next time was more of a healing than it was of this opening up the psychic abilities and seeing all the loved ones on the other side. So therefore, like we have these expectations after we experience one thing, we expect that to happen every time. And healing definitely doesn't work that way. Every healing session that you have is going to be completely different than the last. Okay, you might again feel, hear, see, know, anything like that. That's why I always say, whatever thoughts come in, just let them come in and let them flow out. And then also with the healing is that it's about like how you should feel. Like you expect to feel a certain way, not in the session, but like after a certain amount of time, or, you know, after, you know, all this time that you've put into your healing, like why are you not feeling a certain way? And this kind of goes with the whole years of therapy thing. But, or, okay, that's not what I meant in the beginning when I wrote this. What I did mean in the beginning when I wrote this note was that you feel as though you expect to have, you know, when I'm on calls with clients to get into my From Pain to Power mentorship, I'll ask them like, what do you want to feel like? And a lot of them don't have answers. But you might expect to feel after all this healing is done, right? You might expect to feel like happy every single day. And that's just not human. That's not life, okay? It's not going to be like that. So we might have these expectations of what being healed or what being happy actually means and what it looks like. But that might not be the truth, okay? So these expectations can set us up for failure, right? So those are the five areas of your life that I have written anyway. I'm sure there's more, but definitely relationships, manifestation, connection to the divine, self-expectations, and healing expectations. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any other ones. New Year's resolutions suck. And yes, lots of expectations and failure. Yeah, Hope says, if it comes differently, how do we know it's what we asked for yet in a different package? The feeling you wanted. Definitely want to heal, Donna says. And Nancy, in relationships, we expect them to show their love in the same way. Yeah, same way we do. Yeah, and I'm going to do a video about the 5 love languages and why they're important to know. And it's really, this is a different topic, so I will do another video on that. Donna, if I heal, my motivation will be, I feel if I heal, my motivation will be better. Okay, so that's an expectation that you have, but your motivation can actually be good even if you don't heal. All right. All right. So those are the 5 areas of your lives where expectations can be hurting you. Okay. Now, what I want to move into here is when we don't meet those expectations. Okay. What happens when those expectations are not met? Hello to the ego. Okay. Our ego, which is what I say, edging greatness out, which is like basically taking everything from your past and using it against you now to make sure that you feel safe, and you make sure that you know that that's not a great idea, or all of those past failures are coming up to tell you, see, we told you you shouldn't do that. Okay, so this is where the ego comes into play. My ego, I always teach in my courses, is like this old, like little old lady who's miserable and just wants everybody else to be miserable too. All right, so the ego comes up and it attacks us. It attacks us, and as it attacks us, we attack them. So if we're talking about relationships, we attack the other person. If we're talking about ourselves, we attack ourselves too, okay? So this is where this really starts to go wrong when having expectations, okay? So I wrote some down examples here as well. So in the relationship department, we will start to say the ego will start to get in our head. This is when we're going back and forth and our ego is just in our head that they don't love us. So if they didn't change for us, they don't love us. If they're not treating us a certain way, they don't love us. So these are just thoughts that are going to keep coming into our head and really, rallying us up a little bit. I'm not good enough, right? I'm not good enough to be loved. I'm not good enough. They don't want me. Right? They're going to want somebody else. Apparently, I'm not good enough because they're not meeting my expectations. Or maybe they're not good enough, right? They're not good enough. Now, okay, they're a narcissist. This is a very big term that can come in, especially when they're not meeting our expectations, that there's something wrong with them as well. With the manifestation, our ego can come in and start saying to us, the universe doesn't have my back. And it can also start saying to us, see, this doesn't work. So you can see how having these expectations sets us up for failure, because when it doesn't work out the way we think it should, right? The way we think it should, our ego starts to attack us, and that is never fun. Never fun. So manifestation, the universe doesn't have your back and it doesn't work for you. As far as the divine, common one that I see, I don't have those abilities. Everybody has those abilities, okay? It's how you use them and getting the ego far out of the way so that you can actually step into them. So I don't have those abilities. Now with the healing also is like, this is useless, so we just give up. And we might go on medication. We might just stop altogether and just sit in our misery and depression and anxiety. You also might say to yourself, like, I should be feeling something by now. Like, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, so our ego, again, is attacking us because our expectations are not being met. And then the one that really hurts us is those self-expectations, because what comes into play is self-shame and self-guilt. So think about those New Year's resolutions. If you don't fulfill that, whatever, however long you're supposed to do that for, which I guess is ever, right? If you don't fulfill that, now the self-shame and the self-guilt comes in. See, you're no good. You can't stick to anything. The ego just starts to come in and really digs on you. The shame of, see, oh, my friend is doing it, but now I'm not doing it. So you shame yourself. So there's a lot that can come into play when you have these expectations of yourself and other people. So give me expectations in the comments if this is all making sense to you and if this is resonating with you. And then I will move on into how to let these go, okay? The ego will take away all your motivation, Nancy says. Absolutely. Cordelia says, good work. Keep it up. Love you. Love you too. Okay. So how do we let go of these expectations? Very important question. Can you see by now, just write yes or no in the comments here. Can you see by now how important it is to let go of these expectations? Can you see that now, of how much harm they can do in your life? Catherine says, I feel all these expectations. Yeah. Alice says, yep, that's me. Expectations. Yeah. Expectations. Awesome. So just write yes or no. Can you see the harm that these can do in your life? Okay. Now, the first thing in order to let go, Hope says, hell yeah, to let go of expectations is acceptance. And this is why I did this in the Reiki Vault membership last night, because acceptance is key. I always say awareness is key, but I'm going to add acceptance too. So acceptance is key. So you have to accept yourself for who you truly are, and you have to accept others for who they are and not what you want them to be. All right. Now, this comes from like codependency, where we get that validation outside of ourselves. So if somebody is not doing what we expect them to do, it means something to us. It means that we're not good enough. It means that I'm not getting that happiness because they're not doing what I wanted them to do. Okay. And when you're codependent and you seek that validation, when you're not getting that validation, it starts triggering the hell out of us. Okay. So very important to accept people for who they are and then decide if you want them in your life and at what capacity. So this could be family members where, you've got to accept your brother, your mother, your father, whoever, for who they are. But then you get to decide, these are boundaries as well, what part they play in your life, like how often you see them, how often you pick up the phone when they call, these different things. But if you do not accept yourself for who you are, it's going to be pretty hard to accept other people for who they are. So, but acceptance is really important here when letting go of expectations. Okay. Acceptance also is about accepting where you are on your journey. So that would be with relationships. This is going to be with the manifestation, with the healing, with the divine energy, and even with yourself. Okay. Because if you let go and you accept where you are in the journey and don't have expectations of how long that journey is going to be, how to feel on that journey, you're going to be able to breathe. They're like, everyone take a deep breath in here. That's what they're feeling. That's what I'm feeling right now, right? You're going to be able to breathe a little bit easier because you don't have all this pressure on you. So accepting yourself, and accepting others, but also accepting where you are on the journey. The second thing here, in order to let go of expectations, is going to be about letting go of the time frame. So important. And especially like if you're, trying to seek out relationships and you're a certain age and you don't have kids and all you're supposed to and blah, blah, blah. And you have all these expectations of your life and they're not being met. That pressure that comes in with that can totally destroy any manifestation that you're trying to get. So if you're trying to manifest that relationship, it's like, okay, I'm 30 here and I've got to have kids like by 32, like what's happening, right? That is hindering you in such a big way because that's a negative vibration. It's, pressure on it. And when that happens, you're trying to force something and then it's not going to manifest. Okay. So you got to let go and you have to just breathe through it. Dottie says, disappointment from unmet expectations is me. Yeah. We get disappointed and that's when the ego comes in. All right. So letting go of the time frame. And this is what I always say, and I hope this makes sense to you guys. But I say this, right? If you're manifesting that relationship, that soulmate relationship, that's just going to, be so amazing and you're just going to get each other and you just have this connection, not a narcissistic connection. This takes time to develop, different video, but you're manifesting that, right? When it comes, when you actually get it, what does it matter how long it took? Think about that for a second. Let that sink in for a minute. If you finally get that job that you wanted for so long, if you finally get that relationship, if you finally get to connect to your spirit guides, right? What does it matter that when it finally happens, do you think you're going to be like, wow, I wish that could have happened sooner, right? No, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, it finally happened. So let go of the time expectations and just know that it's coming when you're manifesting. Very important when you're manifesting, okay? Because a lot of the times when we have that time expectation, if it doesn't happen in that time, we give up and then your manifestation falls. Okay, so very important to let go of the timeline. All right. Alice says, oh yes, I need to let go of the timeline. Absolutely. Oh yes, timing and comparing. Yep. Shelly. Yep. Okay. Hope says me too. All right. So the last thing I have for you here about letting go of expectations, this is the most important because we talked about this a lot today, is that we have to learn how to dance with the ego, right? We have to identify what our ego is. We have to see how it plays out in our mind. This is that awareness, right? We have to learn how to dance with it. Unfortunately, if you expect the ego to go away and never come back, that is an expectation that is not going to be met, right? Your ego does not disappear. Your ego is actually a good thing. Your ego actually keeps you safe. So when, it is, the ego's job is to keep you safe. And it's very confused because it wants to keep you out of the scary situations. Yet I always say that we'll say the uncomfortable situations. And I always say that life lives on the other side of being uncomfortable. When you are uncomfortable, that's where life lives. When you are out of your comfort zone, when you're pushing yourself, that's where life lives. So your ego wants to keep you in your comfort zone. But that's like staying in your house, right? Not going after that relationship, not healing, not going after that promotion because it's scary and uncomfortable. So we have to learn how to dance with the ego. And with this, we have to also learn how to identify the triggers that are coming up. So say, for instance, with all these expectations, let's talk about the relationship. If you have an expectation for this person that you're with to treat you a certain way and they do not, a trigger is going to happen. And you get all crazy, you get all upset, you're, screaming at them, you're trying to get your point across and they're not hearing you, they don't understand because they are not you, right? They are not you. So then what happens is we get triggered, and usually, again, that is from childhood where we are being triggered, right? Maybe they're not treating you a certain way, maybe your mother or father didn't treat you a certain way. So we have to be able to identify those triggers in order to let go of our expectations. All right. Write value in the comments if you guys are getting something from this, if you're resonating with this, let me know. And then I'm going to go into something else. I have an exciting announcement, which I probably should have mentioned at the beginning, but I do have an exciting announcement for December. Well, a little bit of December because I'm taking a break. Alice, oh yes, I need to let go of the timeline. Cordelia says, yes, yes, yes. Catherine says, I'm half okay with acceptance of others, but how do I accept myself when I don't know who I am and constantly searching for clues? Accept yourself for not knowing who you are. Accept yourself that maybe things will develop as they go, but maybe right at this moment, you don't know, and that's okay. Yes, 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 value. Julia says, absolutely. Thank you. Awesome. Krista, value, value, value. Okay, awesome. All right, so I have something coming up for the next few days, literally like a few days. All right, I know it's December. I know we are all really, really busy. All right, I'm just going to put this out there before I go into this because I just have to do this. All right, so if you guys are on my YouTube channel, if you're in my Facebook group, on my Facebook page, I want to let you know that I am going to go live, and I'm just going with spirit right now. I'm going live at 3 p.m. on Thursday. I'm going to write that down because literally it's coming out of my mouth right now with a very big, I guess it's an announcement, but there's major changes coming to everything that I'm doing right now. So there's going to be changes to my channel. There's going to be changes to YouTube. So if you guys are interested in learning what I've been going through for the past year and really how these changes are going to affect you and my channels and my Facebook group and stuff like that, I'm going to go live on YouTube on Thursday at 3 p.m. To kind of share my story with you and kind of let you know what's been going on, because December is the month that I'm going to start making these changes so that we can roll into the new year in a different space. Okay, so I'm excited for it. I think you guys, especially if you're on this video with me, are going to be really excited for it. But yeah, so I'm just going to make that announcement. Sorry, didn't realize that was coming, but that's what happens when we listen to our intuition. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and if you guys are not interested, I'm going to kind of talk about the program that I have that can help you heal from codependency. Everything that we talked about tonight, you might have heard this already. You have more than my permission to jump off. You don't have to stay with me. But I do have some extra bonuses coming in for the next few days with this program. So, if this resonated with you tonight, we're going to be talking about those triggers and how to identify them and how to move past them and stuff like that. So I want to thank you for being here. If you don't want to listen to this, you can go ahead and jump off. If you do, stick around and you can find out what bonuses I have coming up, okay? So I have a program. It's called From Pain to Power. And it is basically to help you understand yourself more. It's about healing codependency through spirituality. And in spirituality, I feel as though it's about understanding yourself, understanding what's really going on below the surface of your emotions. So this program is really for you if you are a people pleaser, if you are trying to help everybody and fix everybody that is in your life, okay? This is for you if you have a lot of expectations of other people and maybe they're not met, or even if they are met, doesn't matter, but when they are not met, you get very angry, upset, triggered, emotional, okay? So, this program is also for you if you are consistently getting yourself into toxic relationships and ignoring the red flags. So this program really takes you through understanding yourself, but releasing the energy behind it. Okay. A lot of our energy gets stuck as a child, right? And it stays there until we release it. And that's why, like, you can spend years in therapy, but never really feel better. You can understand yourself a lot more, but you don't release the energy. And this program takes you through strategic process of really helping yourself identify who you are, identify what you need to let go of, and let go of it and reprogram the subconscious thoughts. Okay. So this is my From Pain to Power. You might have heard of it before. Usually this is an 8-week program that I bring you through. And I always say with the women on my calls, I will say that the first 3 weeks are pretty rough. This is a deep, intensive healing program. You have to be ready to heal. You have to want to change, like literally change your life. Okay. If you are not ready for that, this is not for you. I'm only looking for women that have, suffered so much pain that they're finally ready to make a change. And especially in December, this month, this is a perfect month to start because 2021 is coming up. All right. So there are a few bonuses. I'm going to read the comments in a second, guys, but there are, because I have to keep my concentration. But there are some bonuses that I'm extending for December. Now I know because of the holidays, it's a lot, but you might have some extra time off as well in order to heal. Healing does not take a long time. All right. There's journals every week for you to dive into. There are videos, and there's also energy healing every single week. You also get weekly group coaching calls with me with this program. So I am there to actually hold your hand through it. So we actually get to talk over Zoom, and you get to tell me what's coming up for you. Me and my spirit team actually get to help you release what is there for you. Okay, so we actually get to speak, which is one of the things that I love doing. So I love interaction. That's why I come live. I love chatting with you. And actually, checking the time here, we actually go live on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. So after this, I will be on live with the women in my mentorship program. Okay. So some of the bonuses here for December. Now, this is really important because there is a time frame. These are only available till Friday because, like I said, I'm taking most of December off. So therefore, these are only available till Friday. I have some time in my schedule booked out for tomorrow and Thursday so that you can get in and we can chat about this if you think you're interested in this, okay? There is an investment for this program. It is not low cost, okay? It is not a $300, $500 program with you get me every single week. So there is an investment, and it is it's over $1,000. So just let me tell you that straight out, okay? Now, the bonuses that I have here for the next 3 days, we'll say, is that instead of just 8 weeks of group coaching calls, you're actually I'm going to double it. You're going to get 4 months. So it's going to be 16 weeks. Okay. So because of the holidays, because of New Year's and all of that, you're just going to extend it more. So you'll have more time to go through the program, and you'll also have more time in the group coaching calls so that you can get all the support that you need. Okay. And then the other bonus that I have here is you're going to get the lifetime access to the Reiki Vault membership. So the Reiki Vault membership, if you go in there, every week I go live on Mondays with the members of the membership, and I do a training and I do an energy healing to go along with it. It's about a half hour every single week, but it allows you to learn something, and it allows you to clear your energy, protect and heal your energy as well. You're going to get all of those that I've done. There's about 80 of them in there because I've been doing it for over a year now. So definitely you'll get lifetime access to the Reiki Vault membership. So if you are really, truly ready to heal, this is going to be for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a link in here for you. We'll find out if you're a good fit. I do not take just anybody. I'm like, I'm still here, right? Okay. I don't take just anybody. So I like you to answer some questions just to make sure you're a good fit before we jump on a call. my time is valuable. I know your time is valuable, and I'm not going to get you on a phone call to kind of go over this unless, you know, I think you are a good fit. I'm not going to waste your time. So let me go ahead and put the link in the comments. I'll just say good fit for from pain to power. And I'll put it up in the box if you're on Facebook, and I'll put it in the description box and the comments below if you are on YouTube. All right, but please remember that these bonuses, these are huge bonuses because I don't do this, especially with extending the group coaching calls for an extra 2 months. So definitely make sure that you get on the calls with me between tomorrow and the next day so that you can get in by Friday the 4th, okay? Friday, December 4th. So yeah, so Friday, December 4th, deadline, boom, okay? Then I'm taking off. All right, there are payment plans available. We can discuss that on the phone call. All right, let me go back up here and get some comments. All right, let's see. Hit that like button to get this amazing info out. Thanks, Shelly. Yeah, and you know what? Share these videos with people because it's amazing how many codependent women there are, how many women that, you know, and codependency, I don't think is a bad word. Like I don't really like labels, but we're all codependent. We're all narcissistic. Boom, mind blown, right? But share these videos so that other women can start to see how to heal themselves, because I really feel like 2021 is going to be the year of women. And I'm sorry for all the men that are watching this, love you all, but seriously, like it's time for women to rise up, especially with the Me Too movement that we had. Was that this year or last year? I can't even remember. I feel like days are blending together, but like it literally is time for women to gain their power back and understand themselves better and like stop settling and stop you know, trying to fix everybody and really kind of heal themselves and step into their truth. And whew, don't get me started. But yeah, so share this video with people that you think can it can help, okay? Nancy says, pain to power mentorship is so amazing. Love you, girl. Let's see. Chuck says, wife after 36 years decided to leave again. Claims COVID unemployment is the issue. She's done this every 10 years. Am I a doormat? Great kids and grandkids. Yeah, I would gain your power back, Chuck, and really understand that, again, you can accept her for who she is, but it doesn't seem as though she wants to be there. If she keeps leaving and she does this every 10 years, tells me that she's not really happy in the relationship, and that's okay. And that's like one thing to understand is that if a relationship doesn't work out, it doesn't mean anything about you. But my question to you would be like, why do you keep taking her back? And that's going to be, again, probably coming from your childhood. All right, let's see. Tracy says, this is an amazing program that will save you years of talking. This is a real deal. Namaste, my beautiful friend. Thanks, Tracy. I mean, guys, what I will tell you, if you're still here, like this mentorship, I wouldn't, like, if you've been following me for a while, you know I have a lot of courses. I do a lot of courses. This is the course. This is the course that will literally transform your life. So this is the course, okay? Nancy says, doing the mentorship was the best decision I ever made. Awesome. Stephanie, thanks for all you do and who you are. Thanks, girl. Nancy says it's worth the investment. I think I just went too far. Payment plan, yes. Hopefully. Waiting on Aries reading. You have changed my life and healing this year, D. Yes, Hope. You are amazing as well. Amy, 1 minute I feel connected to divine guidance and the next my ego gets in the way. Absolutely. That's what I go over in my 21-day course. Girl power, Stephanie. Absolutely. Yes, time for women. Girl power. Awesome. Chuck, it's girl power. Sorry. But yes, you're welcome for the advice. All right, guys, I'm going to take off, get ready for my call later. But if you are interested in, you know, working with me and a group of amazing women who are in the program right now, you know, I keep it very small. There's a max of like 10 to 12 women. So that's it. It's not a huge program. So you get your personalized attention, which is what I love. All my other courses are priced a little lower and you don't get that one-on-one attention. All right. Much love to all of you guys. You know, let go of those expectations. They're just doing you harm. So I will ask you, especially with the full moon energy still around, like, what do you have to let go of? What expectations do you have of yourself, of people, in your relationships, of the divine, of the manifestation, of your healing? Like, write those out in a journal and like, what do you need to let go of? And I will see some of you on our calls in the next few days. Much love. I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, remember Thursday, 3 p.m. big sharing moment, vulnerability, all that stuff. So join me 3 p.m. YouTube. Much love. Bye.